Hello and welcome to another one of my video. Today I'm going to show you a laser level from Zoto. It's you and this one costs £189.99. It's a lot more expensive than your normal laser level. For example, this one here only cost me about £20 I think, or £30. It serves the purpose for like DIY and stuff like that. But this one have Bluetooth built in and a host of other functions. For example, is a green laser and it can work up to 30 meters. Is IP54 rated to dust proof and waterproof. It can connect to your phone, which I'm going to show you guys later on in the video about what it can do. But basically, it is kind of a professional tool. Rechargeable through USB-C port. So basically, once you put the battery in there, you don't need to take the battery out to recharge. Just plug it into one of your phone charger and it will charge up. I think it takes about an hour to charge up the battery, and it should last about 10 to 14 hours of actual working time. So without further ado, let's open it and have a look. Okay, so once you take it out of the paper box, it comes with a flight case. Now the flight case is made of metal, not your usual plastic case. It is lockable, but I don't know anyone would do that. Instruction booklet. The actual laser level. Actually, this is not a massive machine, but it does feel good in your hand. Plastic casing, LED screen with 4 buttons in the front, USB port which is covered with this little flat plastic here, which is fantastic. When you're working on site, you can always get like plasters or cement and stuff like that. You don't want that to get into any of these small creases. Rubberized button. Okay, so that's the battery port. Battery is already kind of inserted in there. And this one is Li-ion battery, so it shouldn't drain over time. It should hold charge even if you're not using this for a long time. But I do recommend anyone to take out batteries if they're not going to use the tool for a long time, just in case you get oxidation onto the connectors. So that's the actual laser. I mean, in comparison size to your normal DIY stuff, so you can see here. So that's kind of different. What else do we have in here? Okay, so you have a magnetic plate mount. The USB-C cable for you to connect it to a power source. A adjustable mount. Now this one here, I have seen it in kind of the more expensive version of other laser level. Basically what it can do is it kind of like move it up and down. So once you kind of clamp this into place, if you want to adjust the height, this gives you some kind of a leeway to in terms of like moving it up and down. Oops. And that's about it. Now the case, kind of like, you know, it is made of rubber, and you got like laser foam cut out for all your products to go back in there. So for those people who look after the tools, I think this is quite a good carrying case for looking after the levels. Why is the logo upside down? Anyway, let's put it over there. So to use this kind of a laser measure, there's always kind of a lock button. So these kind of lock the lights in place. Inside there's a little mechanism where they self-level. And if you switch it to that position, and now you can see that all the laser pointers in there actually allows it to move. And that's how it works in terms of a self-level. So let's switch it on. You switch on by pressing the button at the back here. There we go. So if I angle it like this, So this is the type of laser level which give you kind of lines everywhere. So you got horizontal lines like across, and then you got all the way through up to the ceiling as well across. And because the laser pointer on the side can actually do kind of a 360, so you can see that on my table there will be a cross, and the top there will be a cross. So it's quite handy if you are working like on multiple surfaces, then this one will kind of shine it out. Whereas the older type of the cheaper one, it only works in one direction. So if you point it forward, then obviously you have a crossover there for you to level, but it does not do the ceiling or the floor at the same time. Doesn't mean that it don't work, it's just why you're paying extra for this one. And the other thing is quite important for these kind of professional tools to be able to prove that they are dust proof and waterproof, because you are going to splash things around in the working environment, and you don't want your tools to get ruined. Okay, so because it can do self-leveling, if it is not mounted on a flat surface, it will only work up to a certain tilt. For example, up to there, and it will flashes to tell you that no, it's not working now, it's not self-leveling, therefore you have to level it back to the acceptable tolerance. What I like about this machine is that it got a LCD display on top here, and according to the logo here, you got the 3-axle. So basically the sideway, top, bottom, everything is on, and you can always switch them on and off by pressing this button on the side here. So for example, if you don't want the horizontal line, just click on that. If you don't want the vertical line, just click on that. And then you can switch them all independently. And that's everything back on. On the screen here, it shows you the battery life, and it shows you the kind of a tilt angle. So you got the y-axis, for example. If I tilt it that much, it can tell you that this is actually at 24 kind of a degree. And then back down to 3.4. So I think the tilt drop up to like 4, then it will stop working. And that's the basic function so far. You got 1, 2, 3 lasers here with the kind of leveling function. And for the second part of this video, I'm going to need my phone because I'm going to wirelessly connect to the laser level. Now in the instruction booklet, they ask you to download the app, which I'm going to do now. Alright, so I have installed the app and it's asking me to add new remote control. I think before I can do that, what I need to do is go into my Bluetooth function. And then you should be able to find this product, which is the HZ9457. Once you're into app, just press add new remote control. And it will search. So laser level. If you click on that, there we go. So the interface will show up here. Okay, so what can you do with this? So you can set, for example, if you want to switch off or on. Is it working? Yeah, I still got a camera there. So you can switch the horizontal one on and off individually. Then you can do all the different lasers in control. You can lock the panel so you no longer can change anything. And it is also a little like a self-level. So if you tilt it, it will tell you that it's not working now because it's flashing red, because it tilted too much, and you have to go back to normal. And it works in like kind of all direction. Sometimes you might think that, oh, you know, this is a bit gimmicky and you might not need that. But if you're working on a big like site where you leave this here at a distance and you don't want to touch it again, and you just want to check if the level is correct, you're not going to walk all the way back to the post and to adjust. You can actually come and have a look at your phone, which is quite useful. See more of my face here. So let's play around with the practical use of the machine, because you're not always going to just leave it on the table like that. You want to be able to use it on site. So instruction doesn't really tell you what to do. So you have to really figure out yourself in terms of what you're doing with this. For example, this one is quite self-explanatory because I have seen the Bosch version of similar price range, and they have a kind of like a horseshoe resting. So this basically goes, turn it around, try not to touch the glass. It sits on top like this, and then you just screw the bottom, and it kind of holds the one in place. Now there's quite a few advantages of actually using a mount like this. The first obviously will be give you a bit more flexibility in terms of like where can it stand onto flat surfaces like this. But the other thing important is that the mount itself is magnetic. So for example, if you have a job that you need to have this as a fixed position all the time, and then you're out there for days and you're packing your stuff, putting it at the same place again, you can always mount a metal plate on the wall where you want to keep this at a constant position. And then because it's magnetic, once the plate is hang onto the wall, obviously you need to offset on the other side. So if the plate is already on the wall, all you need to do every day is just to hook it on, and it kind of stay here like this. Now it doesn't need to be a plate. It can be any metal surfaces. So if you have a metal pole, if you want to attach it to the metal pole, it's the same concept. So it doesn't have to be a metal plate. The mount, so just imagine this one is kind of either hooked or clipped onto a piece of glass or metal, and then if you need to adjust the height, all you need to do is loosen up this screw here, and you can actually move it up and down with that kind of adjustment. It's quite handy if, for example, if this mount is clamped onto a movable kind of a tripod thing, but when you come to laser leveling, for example, if you want the line to be moved up and down for the fine adjustment, rather than moving the magnetic plate up and down, you can actually use this mount, just loosen up the screw, and you can move it, slide it up and down for that kind of a couple of inches adjustment that you might need. I mean, it's not essential because, to be honest, if you have any magnetic surfaces, you can actually just move the magnet up and down without too much of a trouble. But I think it's just a one nice addition to a very expensive device. Once it's on the mount, this one can actually rotate 360. So let's say you mount it onto a pole, but you want the cross to be at a certain position. You can always turn it to the position that you want, which I think is quite a neat kind of a design. The last bit that I'm going to tell you is about the charging of the machine. Like I showed you earlier, there's 2 rechargeable lithium-ion battery in there, which is kind of the best technology so far. And all you need to do is plug this into a phone charger, or for me, for the convenience of this video, I have a power bank here. USB-C cable, remember, that comes with the machine. Find a USB port, open the dust cover, and plug it in. Yep. As soon as you plug it in, the battery indicator will tell you that both both of the batteries are being charged as they're flashing, and when they finish charging, will be a solid battery kind of display. So coming to the end of the video, so thank you very much for watching, and if you find this video useful, do click the like button for me or subscribe to my channel to help me grow. Thank you very much, and I see you next time. Bye bye. Gonna pour some water on it? Nah, don't be daft.